Have you ever wondered if it's safe for your dog to drink from a puddle? Today, we're going on a microorganism safari, and who better to accompany me than my dog? He will be right by my side, helping to scoop up a sample from the nearest puddle. I will show you what's lurking in there and answer the burning question. Could taking a big sip from a puddle be dangerous for your furry friend? So, whether you're already a proud dog owner, about to become one, or just fascinated by the tiny life forms in puddles, this video is a must-watch. Get ready, it's going to be quite the adventure. So, I went out with my dog, and soon we came across these large puddles. It's December, and in my area, it's quite common to have a lot of rain during this time. My dog, apparently unimpressed by the fresh water from home, decided to quench his thirst from one of these puddles. Isn't it amusing? Puddle water seems somehow more appealing to them than the clean, fresh water from our taps. Driven by curiosity and a desire to understand what my dog was actually ingesting, I took a sample from this exact puddle. Let's explore and find out what hidden life forms we might discover in it. And here we have our first candidate. In my collected sample, I found several of these worms, known as nematodes or roundworms. Seeing these little creatures might initially cause a bit of concern. You might think that your dog drinking from puddles could lead to a worm infestation, and a subsequent trip to the vet seems inevitable. But there's no immediate reason to worry. These particular nematodes are completely harmless, whether they're ingested by dogs or even humans. In fact, they play a significant role in the ecosystem, contributing to the decomposition of organic materials and being an integral part of the food chain. That said, it's crucial to remember that not all puddles are the same. In warmer, more humid climate regions, some puddles could harbor nematodes that thrive in those conditions and pose a threat to pets. Even though the chances of infection from drinking from such puddles are low, the risk is there. Especially if an infected animal has left its waste in the puddle, it could become a breeding ground for parasitic nematodes. Hookworms are particularly concerning since they can penetrate the skin. A dog doesn't even need to drink from the puddle. Merely standing in it could be risky. Hookworms won't kill a dog instantly, but they can cause severe diarrhea and anemia, making a vet visit and appropriate deworming treatment absolutely necessary. This chubby little guy here is a tardigrade, also affectionately known as a water bear. Their plump bodies, short, stout legs, and claws at the end do remind you of tiny bears. And it's not just their appearance. Their slow and deliberate way of moving adds to the resemblance. Since they thrive in moist environments like damp moss or puddles, the nickname makes a lot of sense. While tardigrades are famous for their incredible resilience to extreme conditions, they won't survive the digestive tract of a dog. The strong acids and digestive enzymes in a dog's stomach are too much, even for these little survivors. Now, you might be wondering about this particular tardigrade. It's filled with several white orbs and isn't moving. Could it be carrying parasites that might be harmful to your furry friend? Nope, not at all. What you're seeing is just the shed skin, or more accurately, the exoskeleton of a tardigrade. Tardigrades molt from time to time, similar to how snakes shed their skin. And some tardigrades lay eggs during the molting process, placing them inside their shed skin. Pretty smart, right? It offers the eggs some protection from environmental factors, providing a safer environment for their development. Tardigrades and their eggs are totally harmless to your pet. There's no record of these chubby critters carrying any nasty bugs that could hurt dogs or humans. And then, there were these critters in my sample, loads of them. This squirmy little guy is a rotifer, sometimes called a wheel animal. The reason for the name becomes pretty clear when you look at the circular structures on their head, which kind of look like spinning wheels. but those wheels are actually rows of cilia, tiny hair-like structures they use to whirl food particles towards their mouth. Rotifers pop up quite a lot in my videos. They're not just incredibly fascinating and easy to observe, but they're literally found everywhere, whether it's in puddles, damp moss, muddy soil, or even in the ocean. They make almost any place their home. Rotifers can vary a lot in size and shape. Take this long one here, for instance. And then there's this slightly broader model, also from the same sample. This one squeezed under the cover glass and is now, unfortunately, roaming outside. As you can see, it's not just the body shape that's different, but also the cilia row, its wheel, is built differently. And here, we've got a single-celled organism from the ciliate group found in the puddle. What a beautiful specimen! This colorful creature is from the genus Nassula. Its vibrant appearance, which actually comes from its diet, is a signature trait of Nassula. You see, this ciliate's favorite food is blue-green algae. These algae are often thread-like and free-floating in water, and Nassula has special mouthparts just for snagging and digesting them. All those little greenish-blue spheres inside, they're actually the digested remains of the blue-green algae. But don't worry, even if your dog happens to ingest these, there's no health risk. They are quite harmlessly beautiful. And speaking of the holiday season, you could say Nassula is like the Christmas tree of the microscopic world. Just like a tree decked out in festive lights, this little guy shines in typical colors, all thanks to the digested blue-green algae in its belly. And what do we have here? A living, breathing fried egg? Just kidding. What we're actually looking at is a flatworm, more specifically a flatworm of the class Turbellaria. And about the egg part? You're not entirely off. That brown round thing in our worm here is indeed an egg, but of course, it's a Turbellarian egg, not a chicken egg. Turbellarian flatworms move in a gliding, almost elegant manner. The reason for this is the tiny cilia on their underside, which allow them to smoothly slide through water. If you look really closely under higher magnification, you can spot these tiny hairs. This kind of Turbellarian flatworms are commonly found in puddles, as well as ponds and other still waters. They feed on a variety of microorganisms like algae or protozoa. Most Turbellarians are actually predators, hunting down things like insect larvae, water lice, or even amphipods. But here's a quirky fact. Turbellarians don't have an anus. So, what happens to the indigestible remains? Well, most of it just comes back out the same way it went in. Yep, you guessed it. Right out of their mouth. Makes you pretty glad you're not a Turbellarian flatworm, right? These flatworms aren't harmful to your dog if ingested. However, it's important to note that within the broader flatworm family, there are some harmful members, like the fox tapeworm. But your dog would typically encounter such parasites through consuming wild rodents or carrion, not from drinking puddle water. Alright, just to sum it up, we should really remember that when our furry friends drink from puddles, it might not be the safest thing. While many microorganisms living in puddles, like tardigrades, ciliates, or even flatworms, are harmless, there are other organisms, such as certain bacteria, that can indeed make your pet very sick, not to mention the potential danger of contaminants like pesticides, insecticides, or fertilizers that could harm your beloved pet. The risk also depends on factors like how long the puddle water has been standing and the current temperatures. The samples I collected came from a very fresh puddle in cool weather. If it's warmer and the puddle has been around for a while, this could encourage the growth of harmful organisms. Maybe we should repeat this test in the height of summer, but then I definitely wouldn't let my dog take a big gulp from it. In general, it's probably best to always carry fresh and clean drinking water on longer walks. That way, you're on the safe side. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, Please like it and definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. Looking forward to seeing you next time.